Hello.
Yes, sir. It's not audible. No, sir.
Even making the more clear clarity in audio system. Hello, are you able to listen to me? My
Not clear, sir.
are you using the headphone or just on your mobile?
Only using mobile, sir.
Mobile. Try to uh, extend, make it more audible. There is a button in the mobile right side. Try that. Able to listen? Is there any clarity? Hello?
Sir, it's not clear, sir, voice. Sir.
Here it is showing you. Your voice is reaching me.
But
మీ వాయిస్ కట్ అవుతుంది సార్.
No, sir.
So I put the headphone. Directly. Now you are able to listen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will remove the headphone. Then. Directly, you can listen to my lecture. Anyhow, what I was asking, how you got good? All of you got good marks in first semester?
No, got the results, sir.
Pardon?
రిజల్ట్స్ రాలేదు సార్.
Acha, results are all. Okay, don't worry. If you have written well, definitely you are going to get good marks. So now what I was telling, this library and information science, this paper, which is related to management of documentation centers, information centers, or library, is nothing but the extension of what you have learned in your first semester. There also you have learned some theoretical aspects, isn't it? So here you will learn in detail how to practically how to manage a library or documentation center. First of all, I would like to ask you, is there any clarity to all of you? What is the difference between a library, between a information center, or say documentation center? Can somebody tell me what why we call these three distinct, why we use these three distinct terminologies for libraries? Why we call documentation center or information center? It is one and the same. It is one and the same. Only the difference is that whenever you are studying about a special library, some special aspect, there you can use the term information center. Nowadays, another term has come, KRCs, knowledge resource centers, because libraries provide knowledge to users by providing different types of material, by providing different types of information. So they are being called KRCs, knowledge resource centers. So anyhow, the basic function of a information center, of a knowledge resource center, or a library or documentation center is one and the same. some additional functions are there in special libraries, in documentation centers. What the term documentation itself, it is, what is meant by documentation? Can somebody tell me? Rajita? What is meant by documentation? There you will have some, the library staff or the librarian will have to go through the contents of the documents. There you are supposed to provide bibliographies, you are supposed to provide abstracts, you are supposed to provide indexes, which is normally not there in academic libraries or in public libraries. In public libraries also mostly only documents are provided, but the actual content of the documents is necessarily required to be provided in case of special libraries. Even also at the university library level, where the research scholars are coming, they may need the contents to be provided in abstract form, or bibliography service is required anyhow. Now, coming to the subject, management. Of course, management is required everywhere. If you are having a business, if you are having an institution, if you are having a library, anywhere, even in your home, you manage the things. Manage. Manage means whatever tasks, whatever achievements are required to be made into working form. That kind of aspect is known as what we call management. Simply, whatever your goals are there, whatever you have decided, that should be achieved. Achieving of goals. That is very important aspect of management. What we do in an institution, what a librarian is doing, he is trying to achieve the goals of the institutions which are set up by the management for the execution of library work. So you have to achieve the goals. Sometimes when you are looking at your study material or looking at reading any library management book, you may come across several theories. BLISc principle, that is postcard, or you may come across Fails principle, or you may come across several definitions of management. All those things are theoretical aspects. You may be adopting those principles given by the management gurus without knowing. While you are managing a library, automatically you may be following those principles. You don't know. It is like that. I tell you, we are eating food. It is getting digested. You know, inside what process is going on, some digestive acids or enzymes, etc., are mixing with food, and then after some time, food get digested. You don't know. Those are the principles behind. So here also in library science, several principles, several theories have been given, and while managing your institutional library, automatically you are following those principles without knowing. Unknowingly, you are following those principles. Can somebody tell me what is meant by postcard? the term postcard? Yes? Yes, please. You have already completed your first semester. So what do you mean by that? Yeah. Anybody? No?
Sir,
Okay.
planning, organizing,
Okay, good.
planning, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting.
Okay, good.
All these terms, sir.
So all those aspects, staffing, first
Staffing.
beginning with planning,
Yes, sir.
organizing,
Mm.
then staffing, then you are using coordination between different sections, you are preparing budgets, all those you are controlling your setup so that functions can be performed well. So all those principles given by BLISc, you are automatically following in your library. You doesn't know. Only the thing you doesn't know that you are using those principles while performing the routine functions of your organization. Naturally, you have staff in library, you will have staff, you will have money, you will have material, you will have goal setup, you will also coordinate the work of different section, being librarian, and you achieve the goals. So that means you have followed those post-carb principles automatically. You do job analysis, you provide it, you make the person responsible, who is going to do what in the library, and how you are planning in advance. You are planning for building, you are planning for space, you are planning for how you are going to spend your budget, you are planning how you are getting a particular task executed so that you can achieve your goals. So automatically those principles are followed. So what I mean to say, of course, as a part of the management, you may have to read for the purpose of say writing your examination, for the purpose of understanding the process of management. You may have to read some theories given by some of the management experts, management gurus. Uh, what is management? What is management? Management is nothing but managing the man, material, and manage the services which you are going to provide. All these three things are managed to achieve the goals, to achieve the set goals for your organization. Let us see one or two management gurus, what they have talked about the management. What is meant by management? One, George R. Terry, who is also considered as the management expert, what he says, if you see your study material itself, you will find that management is a process which consists of planning, organizing, actuating. That means doing, performing, actuating means actually doing the job, and controlling, utilizing in each, both science and art, followed in order to accomplish predetermined objectives. Predetermined objectives. That means the goals which have been set up for your organization, by your institution to achieve. In order to achieve those goals, you perform the different processes. That is planning, organizing, actuating or doing the job, and controlling the controlling the functions of the library. It should be executed nicely, executed perfectly, executed on time, so that people can gain knowledge, gain perfectness through what you have provided to the users. Another person, the Lawrence Apley, what he says, management is the accomplishment of result through the efforts of other people. Remember, other people, the term used is other people. You as manager, you are not supposed to perform everything yourself. You have to manage the group of people so that whatever task you are assigning to each individual in the group, he is able to accomplish those tasks without any difficulty. You should be the problem solver. As a manager, as the librarian, you should be problem solver. If any problem comes in executing the set goals, then you should come to the rescue of your staff, your colleagues, so that the assigned functions are carried out without any difficulty. So that is the aim of the management. What is you are the manager, so you are supposed to provide assistance. What Peter Drucker has said about management is, what it says, it is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and manages managers and manages workers and work. You see, you have to manage the managers also, those who are managing individual tasks. Those you have to manage those people. You have to manage the workers. You have to manage the work. What Peter Drucker says. And of course, the famous management guru, Henry Fayol, what he says, to manage is to forecast, that means to predict, to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. These, remember the terms. What he says, management is supposed to forecast. He has to plan, manager has to plan the work, what plan he is going to make for the your organization, for the library, and how to organize the work which has been planned. So planning is earlier. In post-CAR principles also, planning is earlier. You plan the work, then organize that planned, whatever planning you have done, and then command. You have to command, see that how the work is to be, individual works are to be executed, coordinate the works among different sections, different people, different managers. There should be coordination, and the manager is there to control. Management is there to control the execution of work. So like that, different people have given different set of principles, different way they have defined how to manage. Anyhow, you should remember the important aspects of management so that you are able to manage your library. There are certain characteristics of management. What are those characteristics? If you see your study material, you may find certain characteristics given of managing the work in the library. What are those things? Management is a process. It is a process. It is not one time execution of work. It is a continuous process. A library, you acquire material, you get suggestions, you acquire material, you process material, you provide to you the, it is a continuous process. So management also, managing the resources, managing the services, it is a process. It says the characteristic of management is it is a process and it is not an individual person's job. It is a group effort. Management is a group effort. So many people join with different specialties. Somebody may be specialized in cataloging. Somebody may be specialized in classifying the documents. Somebody may be able to provide the issue and written perfectly. Somebody may be providing documentation, bibliographies, perfect in indexing, perfect in providing services using computer. So it is an whatever you are providing. So management is a characteristic which says it is a group effort of different types of persons with different specializations, how they can manage the job to be executed. And management is said to be nothing but achieving the objectives. Whatever objectives are set up, they are to be achieved. That is the characteristics of management. And management is a system of authority. Naturally, we have to set up authority, provide who is going to do what, who is going to be authorized for doing a particular task, who is commanding, who is the group head of a particular task. Cataloger, assistant librarian will be there, library assistant will be there, classification person who is doing classification, again his boss will be there. Under that there will be technical assistants who will be assisting. Anything, reprography, whatever it may be, there will be management is a system of authority, and management is an entity by itself. Each task, entity is object. Management is entity. It is an object. Every task assigned is, of course, it is an entity. And also, management is needed at all levels. We are going to further see that lower level management is there, middle level management is there, top level management is there. Management is there at all levels. The work is to be managed. The lower side workers, for example, I am telling, if the shelving assistants or book bearers don't keep the books properly, don't maintain, don't put it on shelves, the whole objective is failed. From lower till top level management, the work should be executed properly. Then only a institution, a library will be successful. So it is needed, management is needed at all levels. The catalog assistant librarian librarian of the cataloging section should see that all books, whatever are received, are properly cataloged on time, classified on time, the technical processing is done on time, whatever uh, uh, things are rather assigned, those jobs are to be executed on time. There was sometime discussion whether the management is a science or art. It is both. Library science is a science or art. You can say why the term science is used. Library science, though it is under social sciences, under arts, anything, any process which is scientifically managed is science. We call social science because it is scientifically investigations are carried out even in social sciences. So management, you can consider it is as a science. Of course, art, naturally, an individual who is able to get the work get executed nicely, that is his skill, that is his art. How taking works from the lower staff or your colleagues also is an art. So it is both. It can be taken as a art, it can also be taken as a science. Now, we will just see that there are what we call different levels of management. As I was telling, that we are going to see further what are the levels of management: top level, middle level, or mid level, whatever you call, first line management, or lower level management. All three types of management are important. Only the thing, in top level management, executives, librarians themselves, deputy librarian also, maybe he is also top level, no doubt. They get the funds. They will put up what your problems your organization is facing. They may put up to higher authorities. They may discuss with higher authorities. They may say that they need additional funds for procurement of books or procurement of internet resources, procurement of your what we call journals, databases. They may talk to the management for joining for consortia. There are different consortia. Consortium is singular and consortia is plural. For getting the databases, online journals, online other resources, they may join. You know, can somebody tell name one or two consortia where the libraries can join? Any idea? Or can somebody tell what is the consortia? Have you heard at least this term or not? Yes? Raji, Rajita, Sam, anybody? No. Consortia is organizing a group of libraries for sharing the online resources with the having same objectives, having same type of materials needed for their organization. There is a CSIR consortium. That is what we call Knowledge Resource Consortium. NKRC, National Knowledge Resource Consortium. Indest by you might have heard about the Indest, you might have heard about the consortium for the medical libraries, consortium of agriculture science libraries, consortium of science and technology libraries, defense libraries. Nowadays, they are forming the groups so that with the common objectives, they can provide more online resources to their clientele at their organization. So that is the aim of consortium. So top level management.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Yes.
So how we can spell that word, sir? Consortia.
CON.
1 minute, sir. So once again.
CON.
CON.
SOR.
SOR.
CIUM.
CIUM.
It is consortium or consortium, whatever you call. It is singular term. And when it is consortia, instead of IUM, I. So that's plural form. Plural form. So here the librarians are libraries of with same objectives, same subject area, defense, medical science, agricultural science, or similar objective. They join together and they negotiate with the publishers so that they can get the resources at discounted prices. Not only get at discount prices, more same type of resources in all the libraries will be available. Suppose you are subscribing to Nature. Instead of Nature is the science journal, which is available almost in all the libraries, required in all libraries. Science is required in all libraries. New Scientist is required in all libraries. So such things are only geoscience, only biology journals, only chemical journals. Groups can be joined together as consortium or consortium so that more resources can be used. So such meeting of librarians together with similar objectives is done by top management always. Librarians themselves, library committee chairmen, directors of the institutions. Of course, librarian has to convince the director the usefulness of consortia, how it will be useful. They may request for more budget. They may request for additional space, extension of building. So such things cannot be done by mid-level people or lower level staff. That will be done mostly by the top people. And mid-level management, of course, they have to collect the suggestions from users for the procurement of material. They whatever is approved by the authorities, approved by the librarian, approved by the registrars or vice chancellors or directors of the institution. The librarian pass it on to the mid-level people and they place orders for the books, they place order for the databases, the things are acquired, they are processed, classified, catalogued, technically labels are put, they are entered into databases, cataloging databases, RFID tags are assigned, or they are putting labels of what barcodes, all technical management. Mid-level, these things can be done, classifying and all those things. And of course, certain whatever problems are faced by the mid-level, they are brought it to the notice of top level management, to the librarian. Librarian, if necessity is there, he will speak to the further higher authorities to get funds, to get the material, to get the facilities for this. And if there is any difficulty faced by the mid-level management, like assistant librarians, library assistants, they in turn speak to the assistant librarian. Assistant librarian will go to deputy librarian, and then deputy librarian will pass on to the librarian. And if required, the top management is made known what problems are faced by the particular section, like library or information center. And of course, first line management is the lower line management, where of course they are very important people. Though they may not be highly educated, they may be metric, or they may be only certificate holders, or they may be even lower level, cleaning the shelves, cleaning the books, arranging it on the shelves. These are very important aspects. Though it is the job of lower level or first line management, if that is not done properly, the image of the library goes bad. Don't think that they are lower level people, but they have to, if the lower level work is executed properly, naturally the image of top management of the librarian or deputy librarian also goes out. Our library is very neat and clean. Properly, books are shelved. We don't find the dumping of books on the table. As soon as person reads, goes after reading the book, it is reshelved. Whatever books are received on the counter, circulation counter, they are replaced on time. As soon as it is coming within an hour, it goes back to the shelf. If you are placing, even at mid-level, if you are a circulation of counter is there, if you are reserving the book, if book comes immediately, the person informs the reader that what book you have reserved has come. Please come and collect. Executing the work from lower level to middle level to going, it gives good image for the top level management also. If you go to page number 6 or 7 of your study material, you may find a triangular figure which shows on the top management, and in the middle level, mid-level management, and first line management. It is very important, and you please read, and then you will understand what is the importance of lower level or mid-level management, and of course how they coordinate the things, how they build the image of the library. All these three, when there is a coordination between these different levels of management, then naturally the organization of work in the library goes smoothly, and image of the library goes high. And you will find that all these postcard, what was given by BLISc in 1937, that planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting, all those things can be, of course, achieved. Planning, the first job of planning is always done by the top level management, the librarian, library committee, or the other deputy librarian, all sit together, and also, if required, the chairman of the committee and all other members, they sit and they set up the what we call short range plan or the long range plan. Whenever, suppose you want to achieve something in next 5 years, that is between 1 to 5 years, that is what we call short range. And if it is beyond that, we call as long range planning. So these plans are made, every year. of course, I have worked as a librarian for last 33 years. Every year, we used to, from, the financial year starts from which date to which date?
March. March. 6 months.
It is from
April 1st to March 31st.
Very good, very good. So the financial year, normally the budget is allocated based on financial year, and we have to prepare, plan what service we are going to provide in next financial year, and prepare the budget estimates in the month of January and February itself. We don't wait till 31st March. In the January, February, we talk to the mid-level people and all, and then librarian prepares what estimate, he prepares estimates how much amount we will be needing in next financial year. And that budget estimates is nothing but planning for the finances, and that is passed on to the finance section of the organization, and in turn they send it to the respective ministries, respective parent organizations, like suppose CCMB, CCI, IACT, NJRA, we will send it to CSIR. In turn, CSIR collects from all the 42, 39 institutions and send it to the Ministry of Science and Technology. Similarly, from ICAR, from ICMR, or DRDO, all those departments, individual institute prepare budget estimates in advance, and that is forwarded by the respective directors to their parent organization, and that parent organization in turn sends it to the respective ministry, and this respective ministry send it to the financial or finance ministry, so that the budgets are allocated. It is a planning process. It is a planning process. Budget preparation is not a mid-level management. It is top-level management. And in case of library science, you have to, what planning is to make is that what objectives or goals you are going to achieve in the coming year, and how much building or reading resources or information needs which are required, how many, suppose you need any personnel, additional personnel because of retirements, because of leaving or resignations, you may need additional staff, that you can plan and ask for money, finances, how much money you need, and also physical facilities, buildings, equipments, machinery, internet resources, or internet facilities, what is needed, you have to plan. Once you have planned, then in order to organize the work as per the planning, you may have to, of course, your top management speaks to mid-level deputy librarian, assistant librarians, what we are going to purchase, what we are going to, how many journals we are going to acquire, so that they can execute the work. They can, who mid-level people and lower level people, they first line of staff, they execute the jobs. So you have to see that how you are going to organize the work of acquiring the books, how you are going to process the technical or provide technical services, how you are going to circulate, how you are going to provide reference service or documentation service, including the facilities of translation or reprography or providing bibliographies. All those things you have to and comes under organization. And of course, the staffing under the principles, which again, staffing is not the job of either lower level or mid level. Only the top level management decides about the providing new staff. Only the thing, the library management may assign the different tasks to existing staff members who will do cataloging, who will do classification, who will do circulation, who will be at the counter, who will be providing documentation service, who will be providing bibliographies, who will be managing journals, who will be acquiring books. All those tasks will be assigned by the library top level management, or uh, mostly by librarians, deputy librarians. They will be then they will be instructing to assistant librarian, and assistant librarians will get those jobs executed with the help of library assistants, professional assistants, or any other staff who are available. And of course, as far as the new staff recruitment is there, that is done by the top management only. They will present what requirement of new staff is there or additional staff is there, that they will forward it to top management, and they only will decide, and with the proper approvals and other things will be they will be offering money, financial approvals and all, and then they will be getting the jobs done. And of course, top level management always, they will be directing the mid-level and lower level staff. Direction comes from the top level always. So this under postcard, direction always comes, if you see, from top level. And of course, coordination should be there in all the vertical level as well as the what we call scalar in the same level, horizontal level and top vertical level. There should be proper coordination, then only works can be executed properly. And of course, the another task of reporting. Who reports to whom? Reporting is the process from lower level to top level. The lower, if any report is how many books you have circulated, this report goes from the circulation counter to assistant librarian of circulation. He presents it to deputy librarian. Deputy librarian, he provides it to the librarian. Librarian to top management. He says, yes, we have circulated so many books. So many users have asked for bibliographies. We have prepared so many bibliographies. We provided so many photocopies. We have provided literature search service to so many users. All those things will be coming in reporting from down to down. Of course, annual report will be prepared by collecting information from lower level to middle level to then providing it to the top level. They write the report, and of course they will submit it to the director of or higher authorities. What works have been executed during the current year or year which is ending on 31st March. Normally, those things are incorporated in the annual reports of the organization. So this like this, a process of postcard principle goes, and it get, of course, executed at all levels. Now, coming to the term management, how the things are managed in an organization. Of course, we are concerned with library. So how we are managing the different works of libraries. There are, of course, if you apply here also management principles, there are different schools of management. uh, which is concerned with what we call scientific school, there is human relations school, and there is decision theory schools. Three types of schools have come. And of course, always, our top priority will be for scientific management, of course, which comes through the scientific management school, and or traditional or classical or other types of schools are there. But uh, we prefer here that whatever we manage, whatever we do, it should be scientifically approved task. Of course, under human relations school, the top priority is given to what we call human relations. Here, more things are concerned with psychology, sociology, and where the employees are given more priority. They are encouraged to perform more tasks, and there will be some time. It is said that if you involve the employees in the work itself, in the process of managing the things, it can be executed more perfectly, or more, uh, what I can say, more nicely. It can be done. It is what we call participation of employees to the management process. So it is a type of democratic style of working rather than bureaucratic. If you go for that process, people say works. It has been observed by the management gurus that human relations plays a very important role in getting the works done. And similarly, uh, there is a decision theory schools. There, uh, rather, managers are involved in taking decisions, and they get the feedback from the uh, mid-level or other levels of management, but they take decisions will be always taken by higher authorities. Of course, as I told, the always our priority is for scientific management, or always in whatever we do, there should be priority should be given to scientific principles should be involved in that one. Whatever you do, it should be systematic. It should be true. So the uh, it has been observed that a scientific management always help in improving the efficiency and also getting the works done nicely with more production. It also helps in scientific way of fixing the salaries, fixing the wages based on the production, and also enables whether there is any need for going for rationalization or not. So there are certain features given for the scientific management. One has to provide a division of labor, do job analysis, provide methods for working, and so that we can get maximum benefits, maximum profits. And the wage system in the scientific management is incentive based, and there should be complete coordination and harmony. Doctor, many times, uh, if you see your past papers, question comes that what is meant by scientific management, and what is the contribution of Dr. S.R. Ranganathan in giving the scientific providing the principles or providing the guidelines for scientific management of the libraries. According to, Dr. Ranganathan has been uh, a guiding father for library science, and he has given uh, some scientific principles of managing the libraries. He says one should plan properly before providing services. There should be in the beginning itself, planning should be then done at all level, and in the beginning of the year itself, and then uh, you assign the task to different aspect, do job analysis, and as per specialization, you provide the job so that it can be executed properly. And you have to identify the what are the duties which you are required to do again and again, what we call repetitive duties, and allot the jobs accordingly, who will be able to do and execute the jobs in less time, and perfectly you assign in that way. And there should be no waste of time, no waste of human resources, or less money should be spent, but more work can be done. So under elimination of waste should be reduced to minimum. And then there should be proper correlation of in different sections of library so that work can be executed properly. There should be proper time scheme that once suppose you are collecting suggestions from readers, how much time, within how much time frame you are going to put up it to the committee, get approval, some time frame for getting the books, material, and then also then getting technically process those material, put up for the users. You also divide their, see that how each work takes how much time, how many hours, what is the jobs to be done on month, hourly basis, casual basis, daily basis, or it should be done on annual basis. For example, you should set a time frame. A book has come returned by the library. So whatever you have received within the first half should go back to the racks in the next half at least. So like that, some time frame should be, time scheme should be there. You have to prepare proper forms and registers so that uh, uh, work can be smoothly done. Suppose somebody has lost the book, he wants to report it, prepare a form that I have lost following book, and give the details, accession number, title, author, whatever he will write, and then submit it at the counter. And your time will be, reader's time will be saved, and you will also immediately know what has happened. And for placing orders, for executing other jobs, for subscribing to journals, proper files should be maintained. And if there is a proper filing system followed, then the work can be done scientifically and quickly without wasting of time. So some of these planning, job analysis, routine, elimination of waste, correlation, time scheme, forms and registers and files are some of the things to be taken care by the librarian, or library authorities. That is the suggestion, or that is the rules, principles given by by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan for managing the library scientifically. Then there are certain general principles of management which are to be applied in the libraries. There are some, Taylor has told given certain principles, and that says the achieving cooperation, achieving for any goals of set up by the organization. You have to uh, see properly that goals are assigned and if they are executed, get the done by the workers. There should be maximum output, and there should be uh, development of workers and all related things. If you see the your study material, you will get. And Files principles can also be applied. What he has given in management, that division of work should be done. Of course, you have to assign the proper work to all the people. Work should be divided and given according to the ability of the person, and authority and responsibility should be defined. Always, who is responsible for executing what job, who is authorized, who is the authority to supervise. Discipline should be there in executing the works. Now, among the staff, there should be command from one person. Unity of command should be there. Unity of direction should be there. Direction is to be given by top management and mid-level management to lower staff. And there should be subordination of individuals. There can be proper remuneration for the personnel, and there should be proper centralization or decentralization based on certain principles. Those things have been defined and given properly in your study material. Please read those things. And another important aspect which uh, is there for you people, particularly BLSC students, that what is the role of manager in a library? You are naturally, who is manager? Librarian is the manager. What is his role as a manager who manages the library? So certain things are given. If you take your study material on page number 22, 23, you may find the role of librarian, how he can manage the work as a library manager. First thing, it says that there should be the librarian manager should be interpersonal figurehead. The chief librarian should be able to participate in cultural program organized by the library staff. He should be a symbolic head, discharges a variety of legal. Of course, many times in life, you see lower or mid-level management cannot directly go to higher authorities and discuss. So you are being the head of the organization, you should know what is the legalities of certain aspects and what social duties are there. All those things are to be there. The library manager should be a leader who should motivate and activate the lower level staff, and also he should take care of the staff recruitment are required. Any training is to be sent given, so he can send the staff for getting the skills updated of the staff by sending for training and all those things. And he should keep liaison. Liaison means keeping in touch with the other sections, higher ups, and other libraries. That is very much important. And suppose, as I was telling, if you have consortia, you are required to be a person who will be talking to other librarians, talking to the chairman of the consortia and all those things. So that is the another thing is he should be the monitor, he should be disseminator who will be conducting staff meetings, and talking to the lower level staff, and also keeping telephonic or personal contacts with the government department. All those things will be done by manager, but not by the lower. You cannot talk to a higher authorities directly. You are supposed to, your manager is only supposed to talk to the higher government departments, heads of other departments and all. And he also acts as a spokesperson. He prepares the annual reports. He uh, joins and takes up the membership of different various committees, library committees or other things. And he is the person who is able to take decisions. So decisional entrepreneur. Any service to be introduced or any surveys are to be conducted in the library manager should know what difficulties users are finding by doing surveys and all those things he can see, and he should be able to handle if there is any disturbance, any strike, any agitation by students or by any other things, and he should be able to handle the situation. Sometimes readers themselves becomes somebody becomes angry, so handling such situations is by the manager is always trained in such things to do. And also whatever amounts are given by government to institution, out of that allocations to be made for the library, he can talk to the management, talk to the uh, higher ups and get the funds allocated. So, and also for certain things, he will be negotiator. Negotiator means sometimes happens, you know, if you are subscribing to journals or some databases of past, what we call legacy files. Legacy files means past files of the uh, computer files of the uh, contents of the journals. They are also known as legacy files, or they are known as past files, or they are uh, the known as past resources. And sometimes if your authorities are negotiating with the publishers, they can get discounts for the institutions and all related aspects. So here we find the librarian is uh, playing role of not only as the service provider to the users, but he is a person, middle person between the library and the organization, who is coordinating with the higher authorities, talking to them, finding out the difficulties of staff, and then putting it up to the management, talking to the other libraries for coordination, interlibrary services, or if you want something to be done, you are supposed to uh, talk to the manager so that the work in the library is executed properly. So all these things, if though we are again coming to my first our talk, or the beginning of the talk, that you as a librarian, as a manager of library, automatically following the principles of management experts, automatically you will be executing the works. While executing the works, you will be following those principles and uh, providing services to the users, to the organizations, so that name of your organization goes up. Of course, you read principles, you have to follow, it is a good thing, principles guide you whenever you are in difficulty. These principles guide you how to come out of that problem, how to come out of that situation. These principles always help you to do the things properly. And of course, whenever you plan a library service, how your work is going to be executed in proper way in a library, you are required to sit with your colleagues, with your staff, and plan properly. When you plan properly how the work is to be done, then you can organize that work properly. For that purpose, if you see the second unit of your library management, you will find the organizational structure of libraries. How, whatever you have planned, how you can organize the work. The first thing in organizing is preparing a blueprint. Preparing a blueprint means plan. Preparing a plan. How you can organize the work in the library which you have decided to perform in the coming year. For that purpose, certain charts, certain organizational charts are prepared, giving the structures, proper structure. Who suppose a library is there, then if it is a university library, whether it is a public library or it is a special library, what different tasks are to be performed, what will be the different sections in a library, how those each section's responsibility, these goals set up for each section, which they are going to achieve by the end of the year or regularly, continuously, how they are going to achieve those goals, and who are the persons who are going to perform each task in different sections. Suppose acquisition section is there. In a library, there will be different sections. There will be acquisition section, there will be technical processing section, there will be reference section, there will be the stack rooms, their management staff will be there, who will be maintaining the stock. Then there will be what we call reference section, where you provide reference books. There will be documentation sections where you will manage the abstracts, indexes, bibliographies. There will be the in documentation section, there may be literature searches. You will be providing contents of the documents to the readers, like Web of Science, Web of Knowledge, using either the print resources or providing them using computers. And then there will be the administration or finance management section in many of the university or big libraries, where they will be keeping all invoices received, all orders which have been placed, and then what things have come, and then what payments are to be made, how bills are to be passed, how it has to be given to the finance section of the organization so that payments are made. Everything is to be systematically organized. So the organizational structure is very much important for organizing the work. You can decide what will be the structure of organization. If you, sometime you may feel when you read this, when we are doing job in a college library and all, only librarian will be there, one peon will be there, and librarian will be there, and where are these sections? Of course, there it is like single man post office. You might have seen certain post offices where only one person and one peon or single person only is performing all the jobs. He sells stamps, he takes a registry, he takes speed post, he takes money orders, everything he is done. At the end of the day, he is depositing the money, whatever has been received, whatever forms he has collected, all those things. So, the different sections job is performed by a single person. In some of the libraries where only one person is deployed. He is the jack of all trades. He has to know. But in a university library, in organizations like special libraries, there are in public libraries, there some structure is required to be created, some hierarchy is to be followed, who will be the head of the organization or library, who will be next to middle level person, and then what will be the lower level staff. If you see particularly the university library, there will be a librarian, there will be one deputy librarian, there will be three assistant librarians, then there will be also library assistants, professional assistants, then going up to the lower level, that is what we call book bearers or shelving assistants. Anyhow, how the organizational charts are prepared. They are prepared based on the different organizational structure, based on different types. Suppose a public library is there. In the public library, there will be what we call as bureaucratic structure will be there. There will be a director of library in the state, if it is a public library. Then there is a chain of libraries, the state central library, regional libraries. Then there will be district libraries, city libraries, village level or mandal level libraries will be there. Then libraries which are being managed by different level like mobile libraries and all. Everything is based on the type of library and the structure assigned to that type of library. We can prepare the charts. And of course, as I told, particularly in public libraries, there will be certain, definitely some hierarchy there as per the controlling authorities or the officers appointed. But while preparing the charts for the libraries, you have to follow certain principles. Departmentalization will be there. Different departments, based on that also you can classify, you can prepare the departments based on the functions. You can prepare the charts based on function, based on the area, that is territory, based on the users, different form of resources, etc. And also, if it is a special library, you can prepare the have the structure of the library based on the subjects: science libraries, social science libraries, social science departments. So all those things you may have to uh, systematically follow, and then only you can prepare the charts. So you can prepare the charts or design a structure of the uh, library type of library. There are certain principles to be followed while designing the organizational structures. How you can design. So certain principles have been given, that it's a the scalar principle, delegation of authority, based on which you can prepare the chart, delegation of authority, centralization and decentralization, whether the work done in library is centralized or it is in decentralized way, different departments way. And then unity of command, uh, the control, the periodicity or span of control, different types, line of staff, and functional authorities and coordination, its integration. Those principles are followed, which are given, of course, in detail. If you see your study material, you will get all these things in detail. And to whom then authorities, delegation of authority is given, you are to whom you are assigning the task, and what task can be performed easily by the staff, and you are making that person responsible for a particular job. If suppose somebody fails to perform the given responsibility, then the authorities are supposed to find out what difficulties are there in executing the task which is assigned to a particular person, and try to solve that thing, solve that lacuna which is there. Is of course where authorities only can do. They can rather play the part of problem solving person. That is, of course, the manager or the librarian always is looked up as a person who can solve the problems. Of course, there are how we can display what what is the structure of a particular library, but whether it is a public library, whether it is a academic library like university library, or of course if single person library is there, what commands you can show. Of course, if in university libraries, special libraries, public libraries, you can prepare the proper type of chart. And so if you see the page number 32 of your study material given to you on management of library and information centers, you may find a chart drawn for the public library system of our state. Here it is written Andhra Pradesh. Of course, same type of chart is there for Telangana area also. And what it is, how it shows, says the organizational structure of public library system of Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. The main authority given in the central, you can see the Granthalaya Parishad. Telangana Granthalaya Parishad or Andhra Pradesh Granthalaya Parishad is there, and Department of Public Libraries works under the this Granthalaya Parishad, and it has been divided into three types of libraries: government libraries, and then aided libraries, and there are libraries under maintained by this department uh, by under cities, city Granthalaya Samsthas, and under districts, Jilla Granthalaya Parishad. They are having either city central library or district central libraries in case of a district. And if you see this general structure under government libraries, state central library is there, and there are state regional libraries. In you will in the if you see the uh, Andhra Pradesh earlier before division, it was there were libraries under Nizamabad, Tirupati, Warangal, Visakhapatnam, Rajahmundry. So there were state regional libraries and also mobile libraries. If you see on page number 32, it clearly depicts what is the structure of public libraries in our state. There are branch libraries, which are also mandal libraries. Mobile vans are there. Then village libraries are there. Book deposit centers are also there. And under aided libraries, why we call aided libraries? Because the financial aid is provided by government to these privately funded, privately managed libraries. So there are certain voluntary organizations, there are certain corporations like GHMC, municipalities, panchayats, and cooperative societies, which maintain the public libraries. If you see, can somebody tell me where is the city central library in Hyderabad?
Afzalganj.
Afzalganj is state central library. I am talking about city central library. City central library is in Chikkarpalli area. If you go
Narayanaguda, Chikkarpalli.
After Narayanguda, when you go to city, there is Sudha Hotel, and in that lane Ashok Nagar, you will find the city central library. There are certain other types of public libraries. If you go to Shalibanda, Bharat Gunwardhak Sanstha is there. You will find their public library is there. And of course, small reading rooms and other types of libraries are there, which are managed by the cooperative societies or voluntary organizations. You may find Sundaraya Library in Baglingampalli. There are different types of libraries available. So this is a representative chart given. And if similarly, if you go and see at the page number 34, a university library structure is given. There you will find the different, because university library means it is under a university library, there will be several educational departments, departments working different subjects. There will be science, arts, social sciences, engineering. Then there will be also under science, botany, zoology, geology, chemical sciences. Then like that. So for that purpose, a university library has to be a big library having large number of staff members, and they will have acquisitions sections where the books are acquired, exchanged, received on gift, or purchased. And the under university chart, if you see, there will be a librarian, there will be a deputy librarian, and under that there will be assistant librarians managing. One assistant librarian will be looking after acquisition, another will be looking after technical services, including classification, cataloging, or physical processing. There will be administrative sections where maintenance of buildings, stationery, accounts, etc. is there. There will be another assistant librarian who will be looking after periodicals management, documentation service, or assistant providing literature searches. There will be reference library assistant who will be providing reference service, circulation. There will be a library assistant assigned with the job of circulating the books. Then there will be some assistants under assistant librarians, that they are known as library assistants. And there will be sometime catalogers, there will be caretakers, accountant, clerk, typist, reprography person providing Xerox service, binding people, those who are assisting in repairing of the books. Like that, if you see the chart on page number 34, it gives you an idea that how a chart of a university library represents in a nutshell, how the charts gives you in a nutshell what we call at a glance. You can look at it and find out the entire structure of the library. And if you see similarly on page number 35, a chart of special library is given. You can find here a difference. The librarian here maybe, of course, under the director, there will be a library committee and there will be the head of the library. There will be a deputy director or deputy librarian, documentation officer, assistant librarian who looks after providing training, seminars, and of course, there are documentation officer and documentation assistants who will be providing indexing, abstracting, current awareness service, selective dissemination of information, providing bibliographies, providing reprography, providing periodicals, acquisition and publication. Similarly, under library and documentation services, all acquisition, technical service, circulation, binding work, and typing and other reprography work is done. So you find some difference between a university library chart and a special library chart. More stress is given on documentation services, SDI service, CAS service, indexing, abstracting, that is more stressed in case of a special library. While in a university library chart, you may find more stress is given on acquisition of books, dissertation, theses, because university is concerned with education, academic work. So their research scholars also will be there, researchers will be there, and the faculty will be there. So they need all these kinds of services. So you will find that these charts which are there, which are prepared, are based on the functions performed by a type of library. What functions are done or performed by a public library, by a special library or academic library. Even, of course, even if the tasks are performed by a single person, as I told you, you can still prepare a working chart for your library, how the work of a library flows, right from the getting suggestions from readers, putting it to the next job will be putting it to the committee, getting approval of higher authorities, and then once you get higher authorities, checking for duplicates, placing orders, receiving the orders, then checking the received material, accessioning, then you can prepare, say, similarly, the after accessioning, classifying, cataloging, technical processing, putting different kinds of labels, then putting into database the detailed bibliographic details of books acquired, sending it to maintenance section, that is stack room, their circulation, borrowing by readers, charging, discharging, taking back, and the functions of in performed in a circulation section, like reservation of books, issuing of reminders for the books of late return, or if you can prepare the functionalities. Even though person is, I will give you an example here. Nowadays, you will find under the quality, when you go for your MDIP and all, there is a certifying authorities. ISO certificate is given 9000, ISO 9001. The certificates is given by certain that which says that you are adhering to the quality norms which are set up by the organization. There you are supposed to prepare, even if you are single person, you have to give systematic charting of the functions performed by the library staff or librarian himself, what works he is doing, how much time it will take for each function, where suppose the book has come, in how many days you are going to release it to the users, means how much work it will take for time it will take for classifying, for cataloging, putting into database, labeling, and then after collating and doing, then finally putting it into the circulation racks for to be used by the readers, either for borrowing or for consultation within the library. This is what we call functional chart to be prepared. You have to prepare the stepwise functional chart. Though here very in your study material only broad charts are given, which simply depicts different types of library, but they are useful charts, no doubt. It helps the whatever responsibility is assigned to the people and how the work is being executed. It gives you step by step help. When you prepare organizational structure, it helps you to provide guidelines for working, as well as and also for executing the teamwork, and also for coordinating both horizontally or vertically, integrating, and all those things have been given. So please read your study material well before coming for the online class, so that if there is any doubt, you can put question. We will try to clarify your doubts, clear your doubts, so that you can understand this subject nicely and able to execute your duties when you are joining as a librarian in some organization. So, yeah.
Sir, can you explain the question is given in the textbook, sir? Explain organizational chart of a library. Means we have to explain the
organizational chart of a library. Which type of library?
They have given just organizational chart of a library.
Then you have to prepare the chart. How many sections will be there? Right from that, the acquisition, technical processing, then you have to circulation, and if there are any other sections like reprography section or circulation section, all those sections you have to define.
Okay,
prepare a chart giving different types of functions of the library. But if it is specified that it is prepare the chart for a special library, in that case you may have to stress on documentation, stress on so this is SBI or CS or indexing or abstracting services you are providing, and literature such as who is doing all those. It is a simple chart showing what functions a library is performing. If it is not given, you define the major functions like acquisition, like your technical processing, then maintenance, administration, of course, administrate. But as I am telling, if they don't give the type of library, if it is a college library, it can be all functions are to be performed by a single person. Isn't it? Even I know when I studied up to graduation level, there was single person in the library. He was A to Z, all functions are performed by him or her. Okay, so in that case, you cannot make, say, different departments, different sections. Of course, if it is a public library structure of a particular state, it is given on page number 32. That too for entire state, okay, not a particular public library. So when it is particular library, you prepare the chart based on the functions. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other doubt? Anybody? Please feel free.
You sir, sir, in public library, one mobile library is there.
Yes.
It is free to view that the library.
Yes. Earlier, even in the state's city central library, there used to be a mobile library where racks will be there. It is a bus type. Racks will be there. In that, there will be books are arranged. They are taken to different colonies, different areas. There you can read there also. You can borrow the membership also. You can obtain. But in case of in villages and remote areas, they go particular village one day, particular area other day, like that. In that district also they roam. So they are mobile libraries. They are not kept at one place. But again, after few, they may fix the dates or day. Monday this area, Tuesday this area, Wednesday this area. So mobile libraries function under a particular library, village library, or a particular district library, and they may go to different areas. For that is the reason for we call it mobile, because they are moving from one place to one place. Like you might have seen in the earlier, of course nowadays it is not there. There used to be mobile post offices. They used to sell these stamps. They used to take registration letters also. And the bus used to move in different areas. At this time, this Abbots, this time Koti, this time Abdalganj. Like that, they used to move. Similar, on the similar lines, the mobile libraries also function. But they are only in case of public libraries. They are there in public libraries. There is no mobile library of a special library or a academic library. Okay. Anybody?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in Taylor's principles, replacing rules of thumb with signs.
Taylor's principles? Yes.
Replacing Replacing rules of thumb with signs. Explain that point, sir.
1 minute.
Okay, sir.
Can you give me page number?
Page number 17, 17.
17. Okay. Taylor's. Okay.
Principles.
Principles, no?
Yes, sir.
You want
thumb with signs.
Replacing rules of thumb with signs. Actually, it is a kind of suggestion given in this one. How the thumb rules replacing rules of thumb with signs. Some signs. I will give you an example.
Okay, sir.
Here you have seen the system of giving telegram.
Yes, sir.
I think how the telegram was sent?
Through one box.
That is Morse key. What we used to. You might have not seen, because I have seen those things some 40 years back. There used to be.
I heard, sir, that point. I heard that, sir.
Okay. Morse key used to be there, and they were clicking and sending the messages. Then that system was replaced with another system, what we call, instead of Morse key, they have started sending it with some teleprinters. Teleprinters have been replaced with fax machines. Fax machines have been replaced with, now you are having email. Directly you can send the sentences. So similarly, instead of following the old things, following the generalized things, you have to follow the scientific principles. Thumb rules is general principles.
General principles.
Following the routine things. Instead of that, you follow scientific principles. Here, Ranganathan himself has given here, no, planning rule, scientific management. Same thing he says. Replace the rules of thumb, that is routine things, with scientific principles.
Scientific routine things. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Okay.
Sir, may I know the difference between public library and special library?
Okay. Public library is a library which is
open access
by the public funds. And you may say public funds means, sir, it is a free library. We are not paying anything. No, you are paying. How? The public libraries are managed by the funds collected from the public in the form of cess over the property tax.
Taxes.
And some 6 to 8% cess is put on the property tax that is collected by the government. Of course, no doubt, government gives some matching fund, adds something more, and again provides this to the Department of Libraries, and Department of Libraries distribute it to the public libraries. They are purchased, the books are purchased, and everybody is allowed to use those things. Because you may say, you don't have your own property. Isn't it? Okay. You are not paying anything. But public is paying, no, in turn.
Yes, sir.
So they are maintained with public funds, but the service provided is irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, your financial status, or your educational status. Anybody can go to the public library and use it. But special libraries are such libraries which are which provide service to specialists. You may say, no, sir, it can be used. It can be used, but there are only agriculture libraries where agriculture books collections are there. They by whom that will be used? Only agricultural scientists.
Only special
medical
things.
Used by medical experts, doctors. Engineering libraries are used by engineering engineers. Defense libraries are used by defense scientists or defense personnel. So they are specialized in collection and provide service to experts in that subject area. Okay?
Oh,
For that
okay.
purpose, we call it as special
Special library.
And
Okay.
now their services are also special. They provide SDI service, they provide CAS service, current awareness, and all those things. So they are special libraries.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, can we get any model papers related this?
If you take see your study material.
Only one model paper is available.
The paper of December 2019 or something.
Yes, sir. One model paper is there.
So you can consult the library of this your university. Okay.
Okay, sir. Any short notes, any related important things like we can get or not?
Your study material itself is the very good, and you will get all things. Whatever you are getting in examination, no, it is from that study material. So don't worry. Read that. That is good. That is enough.
Okay. Thank you. It is 300 pages. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No mention, please.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello.